Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be doing my January TBR. So this year I'm going to be giving a lot more attention to my TBR jar because I have been neglecting this for a very long time, and there's a lot of books in here that were sent to me by authors that I really need to get to. So I'm going to try and at least grab one, hopefully two of these per month this year. And then I also have to get to a lot of arcs that were sent to me. So I'll be doing those as well. But I do want to leave some room in there for me to choose some books that I also would like to read. So yeah, just know that going forward this year, I'm going to try and read more from my TBR jar and hopefully whittle it down a little bit because there's a lot of books in there. For January, I'm going to be reading one of my arcs from actually January of 2020, and that is Not So Pure and Simple. I got this a very long time ago, as you can tell from the publishing date, and so I think it's time that I read it. I'll read you the synopsis on the back because it's not too long, and I feel like it'll give you a better understanding of the book than me like trying to ramble and tell you what it's about. So here it is. Dell has had a crush on Kira Westing since forever, and now she's finally available. So when Kira volunteers for an opportunity at their church, Dell's right behind her. His best friend Kwan doesn't believe any girl is worth the long game, but Dell's not about to miss his shot again. And that's where Jameer comes in. He can put in the good word, and with other boys circling Kira like sharks, Dell needs to make his move ASAP. But with all his plotting and scheming, Dell never really stops to think, what does Kira want? No matter though, once he gets the girl, he's sure it will all sort itself out, right? So that sounds really interesting. I like the church aspect because like I grew up in the church, so like that's gonna be interesting for me to like read about it. And I also am excited to dive into a contemporary because, well, no, I read a contemporary last month, but I always enjoyed jumping into contemporaries because they are kind of like the lighter, fluffier side compared to like sci-fi and fantasy. So it's just kind of like a breath of fresh air. Not that like sci-fi or fantasy are bad or anything. I'm just saying those are like more intense books, and so it's just nice to have like a lighter, fun-filled book. Although I don't know how fun-filled this one will be. It seems like there's gonna be lots of relationship drama, but I'm here for it. I've seen this author featured in some panels, and they seem like a really nice person, so I'm really excited to like read their book and see what it's all about. I'm also excited to get ahead on my HarperCollins arcs because they've just been sitting on my arc shelf for a long time. Yes, I have an arc shelf, and it's getting overwhelming. Then for the other arc that I'm going to be reading, it is Frozen Beauty, and this one actually came out in March of 2020, so also a pretty far back book, but I'm excited to finally get to it. This is also a contemporary, but it kind of is like the murder mystery. I'll read the back just because it's pretty short and it gives a really good synopsis. No one knows exactly what happened to Kit in the woods that night. All they have is a constellation of facts: icy blue lips and fingers cold to the touch, a lacy bra, and an abandoned pickup truck with keys still in the ignition. There are too many details that don't add up, too many secrets still tucked away in notebooks and words unsaid. But at the core of that complicated night is a truth that's heartbreakingly simple. So like I'm already invested in this story. I want to know what happened, and I love thrillers and like mysteries, so like I'm really excited to go through the book and like try and put the pieces of the puzzle together and figure out what happened. And yeah, I feel like it might be told from like a perspective of the past and the present, so you might like get the ghost perspective if there is a ghost. I don't know, there's a picture of a ghost on the front, so like maybe I honestly don't know where this book's going to take me, but I am excited to find out. And now I'm going to choose two books from my TBR jar. So I'm crossing my fingers that they're not huge ones because those ones always scare me when I pull out one that's like over 500 pages and I have no idea what I'm going into, but let's find out what we get. Okay, here we go. I'm nervous. Okay. Our first pick is, oh my god, our first choice is A Glimmer of Hope. So I'm gonna go find that. So this is the book, A Glimmer of Hope by Steve McHugh. I don't know how to say that. Anyways, the book looks really cool, and the back sounds awesome. She cried for her mother, all those who died, and for not fighting back. And when she finished crying, she was left with a hollow feeling inside of her. But alongside it was an ember of rage, and that was what would sustain her. I am pumped. I read on the info sheet that it's an urban fantasy and it has mystery, action, and magic. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's also a series. This is only book one, and I believe it came out in April of 2018. So it's been on my shelf a little while, but here it is. And want to see what's under the dust jacket? It looks so cool. Look at this. It's like sun coming through trees. I thought that was really cool. I also it's like a habit now. Marcus has like trained me so that anytime I get a hardcover book, I always look under the dust jacket to see if there's anything cool under there. And yeah, I was doing it like at Christmas. I'm just weird like that now. I guess that's not a weird thing. I think that's a book lover thing. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to this one. This looks really good. I think it's going to be fantastic and just exciting. And it's under 400 pages, so that's great. But yeah. Okay, let's draw one more from the TBR jar and see what we get. Here we go. I'm nervous again. Okay, we got orange. I don't think there's like any differentiation between the colors. We just used a Post-it notepad with 3 colors. Okay, what's in this one? Oh my god. Delivering Virtue is the next one. So I'm going to go get that one. But just from that word, like that title, I feel like I know what it is and I'm scared. So I grabbed the book off the shelf. It's not the one that I was thinking of. Thank God, because the one I was thinking of was like over 600 pages. But it is Delivering Virtue by Brian Kindle. And the book cover itself is very interesting. I read the back. It's also interesting. Like, I don't know what to think of this book. It sounds like historical fiction with a little bit of magic in it, maybe, but I don't really know what to expect from this book. So essentially, I'm going to try and give you a SparkNotes version of it instead of me reading the back this time. Essentially, it's a character who is kind of, they think of themselves as like a peaceful poet, but their natural tendencies go to be kind of like morally gray or like against the good morals, I guess. And so they're tasked to deliver this child to a prophet, and this child is named Virtue, and they are a baby. And so he needs to take this child through the wilderness to this prophet because this child is going to be wed to the prophet when they're old enough. And I don't know, it sounds like very like I don't know what to expect with this book. I am interested to see how it goes, and hopefully it's good because like I know when anything is kind of like historical fiction, it doesn't really do it for me. So we'll see, but I don't know. I'm excited to try out the book and see where it takes me. And then finally, the books that I am looking forward to reading and the ones I chose myself. So the first one is Calamity. As you can tell, I did not get to it in December. I did not make it to this book, so I'm going to do it in January because I still really want to read it and finish off this series. And then the other one is Heartstopper Volume 3, which I'll fly through this in like less than an hour. So this one won't be too time consuming for me. And as you may have noticed, I'm jumping right to 3. Well, that's because Marcus gifted me Volume 2 and 3 for Christmas. So I've already read Volume 2 because I just could not resist. I could not wait. I jumped right into it and powered through it in about an hour and just loved it. And so now I'm excited to jump into the third one again. I might even read this one first in January just because I love this series so much. I just like the light fluffiness of it. It's amazing. And yeah, so really looking forward to this one. And those are all the books that I will be reading in the month of January. Let me know down in the comments below what books you think I will like the most or what books you're reading in January. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you have any like reading goals for this upcoming year or anything exciting like that. I'm always curious to know what other people's reading goals are. I try and set ones for myself that aren't too limiting or stress me out, which is why I'm trying to read probably about like 5 books a month this year instead of like 7 or 8, just because I don't want to be stressed trying to read. I just want to enjoy myself and relax. I realized that this month I have 6 books and not 5, but like Heartstopper, I'm not really counting because I read it so quickly that it doesn't really feel like a full length book to me. And I mean, it's a graphic novel. So yeah, I'm going to try and probably stick around 5 books a month. And I think it'll go a lot easier and I won't feel pressured, which is something that I think will be nice for this upcoming year. Mind you, readathons are excluded from that. So the months that we do have readathons, I will be reading more than 5 books. Anyways, if you want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post my videos. I post videos on Mondays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.